Welcome everyone. I am Dr. S.KAILAINATHAN, National Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. We are discussing about ME8351, Manufacturing Technology 1. Now we are discussing about pattern. What is pattern? Function of pattern, pattern material, types of pattern. These are the content to discussing to this video. Pattern. A pattern is a mold forming tool in the hand or foundry man. Pattern is defined as a mold of the object to be cast. A pattern exactly resembles the casting to be made except this varies allowance. It is a model or form around which sand is packed to give rise to a cavity called as mold cavity, in which molten metal is poured and the casting is produced. The pattern is slightly larger than the casting. Cases a pattern carries allowance to compensate for metal shrinkage. Also, pattern carries allowance for machining so as to clean and finishing the record surface. Pattern also has the necessary draft for its easy removal from the sand. It carries additional projections called as core print to produce set for the core. The pattern may not have holes and slots which a casting will have. Such hole and slot make a pattern complicated, hence can be drilled in the casting after it has been made. The metal from which casting and pattern is made is also different. Function of a pattern: to prepare a mold cavity of appropriate shape and size for the purpose of making a casting, to produce set for the core in the mold in which core can be placed for producing cavity in the casting. Such set in the mold are called as core print. To establish the printing line, parting line and parting surface in the mold. To minimize casting defects. To help for positioning of a core before the molding sand is rammed. It should minimize the overall casting cost. Pattern material: the number of casting to be made. Metal patterns are preferred for large quantity of pattern. Degree of accuracy in dimensional and the quality of surface finishing required on the casting. Method of molding to be used, that means hand or machine. Types of casting method to be used: sand casting, investment casting, etc. Shape, size and complexity of the casting. Casting design parameters. Types of molding material to be used. These are the basic criteria following to choose our pattern material. The pattern materials are wood, metal, plastic, plaster and wax. Wood is the most common material for making pattern for sand casting because of following advantage. It is cheap and easily available in large quantity. It can be easily shaped and machined to be different configuration and form. Good surface finish can be easily obtained due to the lightness in weight. Is manipulated is easy and it can also be repaired easily. Applications: wooden pattern are mostly used where a number of casting to be made in small and size. The pattern is large. The common wood used in pattern making for white paint, manunga, curry, teak. Metal. The metal pattern are cast from wooden material. Advantage: they do not absorb moisture. They are stronger and accurate, hence more life is compared to wooden material. They have greater resistance to absorption and wear. They can withstand rough handling. Applications: metal pattern are used where large number of castings have to be produced from the same pattern. Plastic. Plastic is nowadays considered as a pattern material due to their following advantage: lightweight and high strength, resistant to wear and corrosion, provide good surface finish. They are easy to make and easy cost also. Plaster. Plaster is cement. It is used as a pattern material because of following advantage: complicated shape can be cast without any difficulty. It can be easily worked with the help of woodworking tools. It has high compressive strength. Unlike metal, it is expandable, solidifying. Application: plaster is used for making small and intricate pattern and core box. Wax. Wax is used for specialized applications such as investment casting. For advantage: they provide good surface finish. After being molded, the wax pattern is not taken out. Rather, the mold is invested and heated, and the molten wax come out or gets evaporated. Hence, there is no change of the mold cavity getting damaged while removing the patterns. Also, they provide a high accuracy to the casting. Pattern allowance: shrinkage allowance, machining allowance, draft allowance, camber allowance, ramming allowance. Shrinkage allowance: almost all the metals using in the casting or shrinkage or contract during cooling from puring temperature to room temperature. This shrinkage taken place in three forms: liquid contraction, solidifying contraction, solid contraction. So the shrinkage of metal depends on following factor: the metal to be cast, puring temperature of the molten metal, dimension of the casting, method of molding. Some of the material will getting some of shrinkage allowance. Like cast iron, it means 10.4 mm per meter using for shrinkage allowance. Aluminum, it means 17 mm per meter shrinkage allowance. Brass, it means 15.3 mm per meter. Like next one, machining allowance. Machining allowance or finishing allowance is the amount of dimension of the casting which is made oversized to produce stock of machining. The casting may require machining all over on certain specified portion. Such portion or surface on the pattern are giving at Q allowance in additional to the shrinkage allowance. The following factors are using for machining allowance: metal of casting, machining method used, casting method used, shape and size of casting, amount of finishing required to the machining portion. And draft allowance. Draft allowance or taper allowance is given to all vertical face of pattern for the easy removing from sand without damaging the mold. Some of the factors following for adding draft allowance, like shape and size, method of molding, material of molding. These are the factors for using draft allowance. This is the image of draft allowance. Okay. The camber allowance. The tendency of destruction is not common in all the casting. The casting will destroy or wrap it. It is of irregular shape. Mostly it is of U or V shape, the arm having unequal thickness. One portion of the casting cool at the faster rate than the other. To eliminate this defect, an opposite direction is provided on the pattern so that the effect is balanced and correct the shape of the casting is produced. The amount of destruction allowance varies from 2 mm to 20 mm as per the size and shape and casting material. Rapid or shake allowance. When the pattern is to be taken out from the mold, it is first wrapped or shaked by stringing it with a wooden piece from side to side. This is done so that the pattern surface becomes free from adjoining sand of the mold. Due to this, there is a little increase in size of mold cavity. For this purpose, the negative allowance is provided on the pattern, that is the dimension or kept smaller. It is normally provided only to the large casting and negligible for small and medium size casting. Types of pattern: single piece pattern, two piece pattern, loose piece pattern, hope and drag pattern, gated pattern, match plate pattern, sweep pattern, skeleton pattern, segmental pattern, cell pattern. These are the types of pattern. Single piece pattern, only one piece having like a diagram. Next one, two piece or split pattern, minimum two pieces or two pieces, more than two pieces like 1, 2, 3, like for split pattern. Loose piece pattern, loose piece pattern like a diagram. For A and B is a loop one piece and overall volume is one piece, totally three pieces having. This is a loose piece pattern. And cope and drag pattern, this is one kind of split pattern. One half of the pattern will be assembled in the one portion of plate, another one will be one half of pattern will be assembled in the hope pattern itself. The hope pattern assembled places will be using riser setup also. And gated pattern is a one standard gate having individual gator will be attached individual symbol pattern. In the gated pattern will be using only small size of pattern will arranged. And match plate pattern, this is also another one of the split pattern type. Mostly the symmetrical type of component will be using this kind of match plate pattern. Okay, centrally having one match plate, and one half of the pattern will be assembled upper side of the match plate, another half of the pattern will be assembled bottom of the match plate, and match plate is assembled for reference in two pieces. Next, sweep pattern. In sweep pattern is help to reduce the volume of pattern material. Okay. For it is mostly suitable for symmetrical component. Okay, having one 10 mm thickness wooden strip will be making, and the wooden strip will be assembled for the center post. Okay, after that the molding box will be fill the volume of molding sand, and in the wooden strip will be sweep around the molding sand, so the volume of wooden strip will be arranging for circular itself having our record shape. This is a sweep pattern. Next one, segmental pattern. In the when the casting size is very large but easy to shape and few are to be made, when it is not economical to make the large solid pattern, that type wooden strip will be arranged. Okay, and in between the wooden strip will be loaded like a loom sand, and excess material will be removed with the help of strike out board. Okay, like this. And finally, segmental pattern. Okay, in our Segmental pattern mostly using for vehicle two-wheeler rims hub will be making in the segmental pattern itself. Okay, a small portion of cross section will be making, and that small portion of cross section will be arranged with the arm and pivoting in center spindle, and it will be prepare the mold cavity in segmental one, and finally fill the one circle assembly. Okay, so it is called segmental pattern. Next one, cell pattern. In cell pattern is used to molding of hollow shape product with curved or straight. It means the pipe work done in process. Pattern usually made of metal. That pattern parted along with the center line and both half of developed. Okay, this is the next. Thank you everyone.